Welcome everyone to this 20-minute express glutes focused Pilates session. If you have ankle weights, you'll want to pop them on for a little bit of extra spice. Having strong glutes is essential for better posture, less back pain or preventing back pain, moving about in the world, being able to sit, being able to stand, especially as we age and our muscle size starts to naturally decrease. Really important that we keep our glutes strong. All right, let's begin today by sitting on your bottom on your mat. You can have your feet out in front of you. If you don't have ankle weights, it's totally fine. You'll still feel the burn without. And just take your hands behind you so you're in a little bit of a reclining position. And just start to lift your chest up a little bit higher towards the sky. And from here, just take a gentle sway of your knees or a windscreen wiper action of your knees from one side over to the other. And all we're doing here is we're just taking our femurs, our thigh bones, through both internal rotation and external rotation. Our femurs sit inside our hip sockets in our pelvis, and the glute muscles surround that back area of our pelvis. Come back through the middle and just gently now lay yourself all the way down onto your back. You can take your arms out nice and wide. Just come into that same action. So you're keeping your feet as wide as your mat is. Just start to gently drop your knees over to one side and then up and over to the other. And as you do this, I want you to squeeze your bottom of the leg that's turning inwards. Can you squeeze that side so that you feel length through the front of your hip flexors of that same leg? So as your leg turns in, if you squeeze the back muscles here, the front ones can release. Let's take it up and over to the other side. Squeeze your glutes to feel that length through the front of your thigh. Couple more of these, just getting nice and warmed up. Keep your breath flowing. You can take your arms out wide, turn your head to the opposite direction that your knees are traveling in. Finish one more. All right, bring your knees back up towards the sky. I want you to keep your feet out pretty wide, so a little bit wider than your hips. And you're going to have your toes just turned out a little bit. And place your hands just gently down by your sides. From here, I want you to press your lower back down into the mat. And we're going to squeeze our glutes, squeeze your bum just a little bit, but just lift your hips off the floor halfway to your usual height. So sometimes we lift our hips all the way up. I just want you to go halfway up. Yeah, and really draw your ribs down, your belly in, and then roll back down again. So it's just a halfway lift. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Keep moving here as you halfway lift and lower. Halfway lift and lower. You might be starting to feel your glutes working here. Maybe they're shaky a little bit. Maybe you're feeling the activation of your core a little bit here as well. Now hold your hips up at that point. Now take them up higher, halfway down, and then lift a little higher. So we're doing a little halfway movement, halfway down and lift. Maybe move it a little faster. Last 4, squeeze it up, and 3, squeeze. Last 2, last 1. Slowly bring those hips all the way back down. Now I want you to bring your feet together on the mat. So your toes are pointing forward, your knees are tracking up towards the sky, your thighs are squeezing together. There is no gap between your thighs. Once again, press your lower back into the mat, bring your low ribs down, lift your hips up just a little bit and all the way back down again. Just a little bit and all the way back down. Keep squeezing your thighs together. So we're moving our legs into different positions, and by doing so, this activates and recruits different muscle fibers all within our gluteus system. The glutes are not just one muscle. There's so many muscles in the glutes. There's 3 major ones: the glute maximus, medius, and minimus. And then there's lots of little ones underneath as well. Now lift up halfway, hold. Can you lift up a little bit higher and halfway lower? You might be feeling your inner thighs working here as well, as you keep squeezing your knees and ankles together. 4 more, 4 and 3. Last 2. Last one. All right, bring those hips all the way down. Take your feet out now, just hip distance apart. So it's like a parallel position, toes pointing forwards, and start to press your lower back into the mat. Halfway lift again, lower down. Now, this not only activates our glutes, it's also activating our hamstrings, back of our legs here as well. Halfway lift and lower. Halfway lift and lower. Really feeling that massaging action through your lower back here as well, keeping the ribs down, something I need to remind myself all the time. All right, let's lift those hips up halfway, hold. Now we'll take them up just a little bit higher and then halfway lower. Make sure you're not going into a back bend here, so we're not coming up fully into a yoga back bend. We're just doing this little lift and lower of the hips. We're keeping a connection with the core, so the lower ribs are drawing towards our hip points. Yep, let's do 4 more. Here we go. 4, 3, 2, lift those hips up, hold them here. 1. I want you to lift your right heel off the floor. Keep your pelvis really still, so keep those hip points in alignment. Now can you lift up to your right toes? So you're pointing your right foot and just your big toe is touching the floor. You'll start to feel the engagement through your left leg even more. From here, perhaps you can lift your right leg all the way up to tabletop position. Now come back down to the toes, ball of the foot, heel, lower your hips down. We'll start again. Lift your hips all the way up, keeping that connection with the core. Lift your left heel off the mat. Keep your pelvis square. Lift up to your left big toe. Feel the work in the right side. Lift your left leg up to tabletop. Good. Come back down to the left toes. Ball of the foot. Heel. Lower down. Start again. Lift your hips up. Lift up your right heel off the mat. Lift up to your right toes. Lift your right leg up into tabletop. Bring the right toes down. Come down to the ball of your foot. Lower your heel. Peel your hips down. 1 more on the other side. Lift your hips up. Lift your left heel off the mat. Lift up to your left toes. Lift your left leg to tabletop. Come back down to your toes. Ball of the foot. Heel. And lower. So good, everybody. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. Rock and roll like a ball a couple of times, back and forth. Keep your spine nice and rounded here. Nice massage for your spine. All right, sit yourself all the way up. Okay, I want your toes pointing forwards. Your feet are hip distance apart. Take your hands behind you, so you're leaning back a little bit again, just like we did at the very beginning of the class. Now, for some people, this might feel a bit tight on your wrists and forearms, having your fingers pointing towards your body with straight arms. If that's you, you can turn your hands out to the sides. Otherwise, I quite enjoy the stretch for the wrists and forearms. Now from here, I want you to draw your low ribs in, but keep your collarbone broad and push through both feet. Start to lift your hips up to a reverse tabletop position. So keep looking at your knees, keep your ribs down, keep your belly drawing in. And now slowly come back down to the mat, bottom to the floor. Start again, exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Let's do 1 more here. Exhale up. Can you hold it here? Keep those ribs down. Now just like before, lower your hips halfway down, all the way up. Halfway and lift. Halfway, lift. Keep your knees tracking forwards. We've got 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Last 1. All right, lower your hips halfway down. Now I want you to tap your bottom to the floor and come up halfway only. Bottom to the floor, halfway only up. Bottom, lift. Bottom, lift. Bottom, halfway only. 4 more. Let's go. 4. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Come all the way back down. So good. We're going to come back to that later. I want you to lay down on your side now. Laying down on your side, all the way down. You can rest your head in your hands. Stack your legs, one on top of the other. Your knees are bent and your feet are stacked. Try and keep a little space underneath your waist. So see if you can slide your hand here underneath you. And the goal of doing that is so that we're not completely relaxing through the core. I want you to stay nice and lifted, okay? From here, extend your top leg out nice and long. And I want it to be in line with your body. Can you point your toes like a ballerina? All right, from here, you're going to lower your foot to the floor, toes tap the mat, and then lift back up in line with you. Down and lift. Let's keep it slow. Down and lift. Nice and slowly here. Down and lift. 4 more at this pace. You're just lifting your leg up in line with your body. Keep your breath flowing freely. Last one here. Lift it, hold it. Now can you start drawing little circles in the air? Nice and slowly. I want you to keep that underneath waist lifted off the floor. And you're drawing these circles. 3, 2, 1. Let's go back the other way. Here we go. 8 and 7. 6, 5, 4, 3, last 2, last one. Hold your legs still, flex your toes, take your foot leg forward. Now start to internally rotate that leg. Can you tap your toes down to the floor? Now we're going to pull the leg back in line with our body. This time externally rotate and tap your heel down behind you. All right, so it's like we're drawing a rainbow with our leg. Forward, toes down, back, heel down, toes up. Forward, toes down, back, and up. Your body is staying super still. You can use your other hand just to check. All right, so turning our leg out, external rotation. Turning our leg into internal rotation. We're doing abduction. We're taking our leg away from our body, working our abductors here. So good, everybody. Let's just do one more. Should be feeling that work here now. Good. Hold your leg out to the side. Can you do those circles again? Doesn't matter which direction. We've just got 8 more here. 8. Almost there. 7, 6, 5. Oh, feel the burn. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your legs one on top of each other. Come up onto all fours. Remember the leg that's burning? We're going to take that back behind us. Toes to the floor. Opposite knee on the floor. Now from here, I want you to come down onto the same elbow as the knee that's bent. And then you'll come up onto your fingertips of the opposite hand. So this position puts your hips in a little bit of a tilt position. What we're going to do is externally rotate our back leg, point your toes, and we're coming into an arabesque. So we're lifting our leg up and down in the air behind us. Lift, lower, long leg, lift, lower. Really pointing your toes here. Lift, lower, lift. Keep breathing freely. We've got 4 more for 4 and 3. Last 2. Stay strong through your upper body here as well. Last one, hold your leg in the air. From here, I want you to bend your knee. Can you bring your knee towards your elbow? And then send the leg back in the air behind you. And again, bending your knee and sending it back. Bending your knee, sending it back. Let's do 1 more of these. Bend and send it back. Hold it there. Now, can you keep your legs straight? Take your leg out to the side and squeeze it back in the air behind you. Nice and slow and controlled today. To the side. Send it back. Keep moving. Keep breathing. Don't stop now. Out to the side and send it back. Let's do 4 more. Here we go. For 4. Keep your body as still as possible, just isolating the movement into your leg. Last 2. Send it back. Last one here. Send it back. Bring it down. So good, everybody. Straight away, lay down on your other side, okay? Laying down on your other side. Hey, Lando, come over here. All right, so you're resting your head in your hands and you're bending your knees. Knees are stacked one on top of each other. Stay lifted underneath your waist. Extend your top leg out nice and long. From here, tapping your toes to the floor and lifting. Remember, stay lifted through your waist. Down, up. I've got a supervisor on my form, it seems, here today. Thank you. Down and lift. So long leg. Try stay lifted in that underneath waist. Your leg is going down and up. Nothing is moving but the leg. Slow and steady today. Good, let's lift the leg up and hold. All right, flex your toes now. So toes draw towards your face. That top leg is beautiful and long. Take it forward, toes hit the floor. Take your leg back, externally rotate, heel hits the floor. So it's like you're drawing a rainbow shape with the leg. If the heel doesn't hit the floor because it moves your body, that's okay. You can keep it off the floor. For example, if you feel like your body is moving out of alignment to allow your toes to hit the floor, your heel to hit the floor, then just keep it hovering off the floor. Most important thing here is that you're exploring what muscles need to work to turn your leg in and turn it out. Couple more here. Beautiful. All right, hold your legs still, point the toes. Let's go back into those circles. Back into those circles. Remember, stay lifted underneath your body here. Circles with your leg. Keep breathing, keep breathing. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, relax those legs. Come up onto all fours. Remember the leg that's burning, that's the one we're still working. Extend it back into the air behind you or to the floor behind you. Come down onto your opposite elbow and then bring those opposite fingertips forward. So your pelvis is a little bit on a diagonal now. So we're allowing the back leg to turn out by altering the tilts of our pelvis, but you've still got to make sure that you're not dropping into your supporting hip. So stay really lifted. And now we're coming into our arabesque here on the other side. Long leg lift and lower. Lift and lower. Beautiful, controlled movement today. Keeping your breath flowing. It's not about the height of the leg. It's about keeping your body as still as possible. Really activating the muscle fibers in the glutes. Let's do 4 more slow for 4 and 3. Last 2. Last one, lift and hold. From here, bend your knee towards your elbow and then send your leg back behind you for 8. Keep your breath flowing here. 7, long leg. Core strong. 6, almost there. And 5, and 4, squeeze it back, and 3, squeeze it back, last 2, squeeze it, and last 1, keep your legs straight. Now can you take your leg out to the side, keeping it straight, squeeze it back for 8, squeeze it out, 7, keep your body really still. You can always bring your leg a little bit lower, 6, stay strong through your shoulders as well. 5, they're supporting you here. Last 4, 3, 2 more team. Last 2, last 1. All right, so good everybody. Sit on your bottom. Feet out in front of you. We are almost there for today. Okay, feet are hip distance apart, toes point forward. You can have your fingers pointing towards you or a little bit out if you need. Squeeze through your glutes. Lift your hips, hold. Core is strong here. You're looking down at your knees to make sure they stay pointing forward. Can you lift your right heel off the floor? Lift your right leg to tabletop. Bring your right toes down. Bring your heel down. Other side, lift your heel. Lift the leg up. Peel it off every time. Bring it down. Let's do this a little faster, changing legs for 8. Keep your hips square. 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, last 2, Last one. So good, everybody. Lay yourself all the way down your back. Finishing up for today. Feet firmly planted into your mat. Lift your right leg up to tabletop. Lift your hips. So you're lifting the hips, you're up on a single leg. Ribs stay down. We're just finishing up with little pulses halfway lower and lift for 8, 7, slow and controlled, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change legs, right foot down. Left leg up. Here we go. Lower, lift, lower, lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your foot down and lower your hips all the way down. So good, everyone. Take your feet out as wide as your mat is, just like we began today. Start to drop your knees over to one side. Windscreen wiper up and over to the other. Woo, starting to unwind now. Someone's playful. Lando. Almost finished. And I'll take you for a walk. Ay, ay, ay. Hey. All right. Bring your feet a little closer together. You'll cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Figure 4 stretch. Squeeze this shape here in towards you. Deep breaths. Take a little sway here from side to side. Really releasing through the glutes. You can even push your knee away from you. Beautiful deep breaths. Switch it up and over other side. Right ankle on top of left thigh. Squeeze this shape in towards you. Gentle sway side to side over your lower back. Might feel really good right now. Maybe even push your right knee away from you a little bit. Just to really get into those muscle fibers. Wonderful. Sit yourself all the way up. Sit cross-legged. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Let's take a twist. Right hand crosses over your left thigh. Take your left hand behind your back. Look over your shoulder. Breathe. And then reaching forwards, both arms reach forward, forehead towards the floor. Maybe your forehead is touching the floor. You soften a little bit more with every exhale. Sit yourself up. Put the opposite foot in front now. So crossing your legs the other way. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, take your left hand across your right thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Come back through the middle. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over in this position. Forehead towards the floor. Breathing. Relax your elbows down. Relax your shoulders. Slowly sit yourself all the way on up. That concludes our 20-minute express Pilates session, all about our glutes today. I felt the burn. I hope you did as well. Sometimes it's really about slowing the movements down, really feeling into all of those muscle fibers that surround our legs and our hips, our glutes. Let me know how it went for you in the comments, and bye for now.